Today we're breaking down the stages of a meditation practice. If this interests you, stick around and let's get into it. Hi, I'm Veronica and welcome back to the Wholeness Shift. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're already part of the family, welcome back. You know I love you. I teach people about easy, practical spirituality. We talk about everything on this channel. We talk about spirit guides and dreams and pendulums and reincarnation and all of those things that you may be interested in as well. So if so, please hit the subscribe button below because I wouldn't want you to miss out on anything good. And if you know someone who's also interested in this information, share this video with them. As I said, today we are talking about the stages of a meditation practice. Not the Pinterest version, but the real version. Because yes, your brain is going to brain, and no, you're not doing it wrong. We're going to talk about what most people experience so that you can recognize where you are on the journey and you can stop judging the process. You can stop judging yourself. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And of course, there will always be exceptions to the rule. But in general, this is what you can expect, and this is what most people would experience. Stage 1, the inner commentary. You sit down, you close your eyes, and then all of a sudden your mind is like, hey, do you remember that embarrassing thing that happened to you in like 2004? And should we cut bangs? And what's for dinner? And why didn't that person call me back yet? Right? This is the monkey mind stage. Like monkeys jumping from branch to branch to branch. The thoughts are going to be there. Your brain is going to brain. Tons of thoughts. Commentary dialed up to a level 10. It feels chaotic because it is. This is where a lot of people, and if you're one of them, you'll know it. This is where a lot of people say, I can't meditate. I tried it. I'm no good at it. My mind just goes everywhere. They don't even try. They just give up during stage 1. Okay? Have you ever done that? Like I said, it feels chaotic because it is, but this is normal. This is totally normal. Truly. Everyone goes through this. Every single one of us. I took to meditation right away, but I mean, hello, I have ADHD. My mind is going to mind. My mind is all over the place sometimes. It just needs to be what it is. That doesn't mean you can't be good at meditation. What's happening in this phase is that basically your mind is detoxing all of that surface level noise and all of the subconscious processing of all of the things that you've experienced during the day, or if you're new to meditation, during your life. Like your subconscious is packed full, and you normally process that stuff during dreams, during sleep, and during meditation. So if you've never meditated before, you're going to have all kinds of subconscious chatter, subconscious things and issues and thoughts and feelings that need processed. On top of that, brains are made for thinking. Brains are going to brain, especially when they've never been trained or taught to be still. It's used to running amok because it's never been disciplined. It's never been taught that it's quiet time. It's time to be still for a while. Just like toddlers or even kindergartners, that when it's nap time, they need to stop playing and be still for a while. You know, in kindergarten and first grade, when we used to nap, I remember being told, you don't have to sleep, but you have to lay there quietly. Like you had to be trained to be still for a while so that your mind can rest. And that's where meditation comes in. It's the consistent discipline and training that your mind needs to know that it's okay to be still for a little while and rest. It's actually good for us and benefits us. And that doesn't mean I have to be still forever, but for right now, it's time to be shh. Plus, when you are used to meditating, you're used to settling down for periods of time. You have that consistent routine that you establish. You don't have such a backlog of subconscious things to process, and it doesn't take quite as long to settle down either. Stage 2. Excuse my voice today. I'm so froggy. I don't feel like I'm getting sick, but my asthma and allergies have been bad. And I think it's just getting my vocal cords. Of course, it's on a day that I would film. Anyways, it'll just have to be part of the charm. Like an old lady sitting there at the bar, like, I need another martini. Anyways, stage 2. Stage 2 is where the thoughts are still there, but they're a little bit less shouty. They're a little bit less present. As you settle, the thoughts don't disappear, but they do soften. Your brain still brains, but the tempo drops. It's like going from Times Square at noon to Times Square at 3 a.m. There's still activity, there's still people, there's still noise and traffic, just not as much. Your mind isn't empty, but it is settling and it's beginning to shift inward. Stage 3, the clairs start warming up. Now, if you don't know what the clairs are all of those extrasensory perception gifts, those psychic gifts that can develop in a person who starts to meditate, like clairvoyance, claircognizance, all of those things. Those are the clairs. And in stage 3 is where things can start getting interesting. You've been meditating for a while, you've got a consistent routine practice where you meditate for at least 15 minutes a day. And listen, if you're not sure how to start meditating or you have questions about it, I will link below to a video that I made on meditation for beginners where I break it down as simply as I can and I help you figure that journey out. You might start getting closed eye visuals, which would symbolize a clairvoyance coming online where you see things. You might start seeing colors and shapes and swirling kaleidoscopes and sacred geometry. You might see faces or eyes. You can come up with all kinds of symbolism, but this is usually the stage where that starts to happen. Or you may hear things. You might start getting a ringing in one ear or the other. You might hear whispers or voices, nothing you can make out. I mean, maybe it's something you can make out. Most people start with like distant, like you can almost make out a conversation in the other room, but not quite. Things like that. You might hear knocking, tapping. These are all sounds that you're not typically hearing externally. That signals you might have some clairaudience coming online where you can hear the energy in the room, if you will. You may be clairsentient, which is clear feeling, and you may start feeling things. You might start to feel buzzing or tingling. You might feel like there's spider webs or a hair stuck on your face. Your third eye area or your crown might start like tingling or buzzing. You might feel taps on any area of your body, just like a tap. You might get an itchy nose. These are signs that your chakras are starting to open and you're feeling the energy in the room. All of these things are signs that your extrasensory perception, your clairs, are starting to open and to come online. And that's kind of exciting. Yeah, it's a gift. Don't be afraid of it. Never be afraid of it. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's a beautiful thing. This is totally normal and it's totally safe, and it's just a sign that everything is going as it should, so just keep going. Stage 4 is the deep stillness. In this stage, the visuals start to fade and the noise is quiet and the mind starts to slow way, way down, and then you drop deep. You go deep. The first time you go deep into meditation, you may come to and wonder, like, what just happened to me? What the heck just happened? You're going to wonder if you fell asleep. You're going to be like, where did I go? Unless you woke yourself up snoring, you probably didn't just fall asleep. You probably went deep. And that's okay. That's the goal. This means that your brain waves shifted from the meditation and you got into that zone where you are in the deep, restorative, peaceful space where all the good stuff from meditation that you're wanting is happening. Your brain is releasing antioxidants, anti-cancer, anti-aging chemicals. Your gray matter is increasing. Your blood pressure is lowering. It's all good stuff, right? And that's where the magic happens. Because your brain waves shifted into that deeper state, you have no conscious thoughts, no conscious memory. You just went stillness. Your mind was at total and complete peace. And that is the goal. That is exactly what you want, and this is good and normal. Some people, this is where you might find the exception to the rule, because some people do this right away. I don't think I was meditating more than a week the first time this happened to me. And I remember I was on the couch and I was meditating, and then all of a sudden the ding at the end of the meditation video played, and I came to and I was like, whoa, what just happened? Because I had no idea going deep was a thing. I had no idea what was happening, but yeah, total peace. Other people, a lot of people, it might take weeks, months, or even years for this to happen. I don't think it would take most people years, but I mean, that's not unheard of. Not everybody is on the same time frame or the same schedule. Everybody's different, and it's not a competition. Your only job is to show up and be willing to meditate. Your soul will do what it needs to do and take what it needs to take from that experience. Your only job is to show up and be willing. Once you hit this stage, this is where most people tend to stay. Honestly, you could be in this stage for years and years and years and years. And there's nothing wrong with that. And let me clarify that you're not going to go deep every single time. It's just not going to happen. I mean, it could depend on how busy of a day or how stressful of a week you're having. Your subconscious might have a lot of stuff it needs to work through again. In that case, you're going to sit there and you're going to be kind of monkey-brained that time. You're going to be fidgety. That's okay. It happens to everybody, and that's normal. That means your brain and your subconscious are doing what it's supposed to do. As I said a minute ago, your only job is to show up and be willing to sit there. Your soul will get exactly what it needs to get from that session. You don't have to judge the process. You just have to show up. However, I will say that once you hit this stage and you start going deep, you will likely go deep more often. That you can expect. As I stated a few minutes ago, once you hit this stage, you might stay here for a while. You might stay here forever. This is where a lot of people misinterpret this as nothing is happening. I've plateaued. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm not doing everything I need to be doing. People think that they've hit a wall and that nothing is working, and that is where I want to reiterate to you that this is actually where a lot of the work is happening. It's just the inner work. You're starting to have those, you're starting to develop all the fruits that come from the labor of the daily meditation. You're starting to have a more open heart. You might be sleeping a little bit better. You might find that you're not so quick to anger. You have a little bit more patience or compassion for people or the world. You start looking at things a little bit differently. Your mind is starting to open. You're starting to work out a little bit of the old traumas or shadow or baggage that you might have been holding on to. It's just this is a natural consequence of the consistency of meditation. These things will naturally happen. A lot of it happens behind the scenes. You might have some pretty vivid dreams. You might be working out a lot of stuff even when you're sleeping. So don't think that something's wrong. Just trust the process. Just keep showing up. You've moved past the bells and the whistles of the beginning stages, and now you're in that deep, restorative place where your soul is driving the car and it's like, shh, I'm working here. I'm driving. Shh. Stage 5, I call the breakthrough. Now, after continuing with stage 4, where you find that deep transformative peace and stillness, you can subtly begin to shift and expand from that stillness and may start to experience some more profound things. Not always, but sometimes. The things I'm referring to are things like a Kundalini awakening, spontaneous kriyas, energy surges, out-of-body experiences, downloads, a sense of expansiveness, and like a sense that you've dissolved into everything when you're meditating, like it's just all dissolved. You start to experience the world as you really are unified with everything. You have this new level of consciousness that begins to awaken. You just feel expansive and inclusive. These are the wow moments that people talk about, but they're not the goal, and they're not the norm necessarily. A lot of people will experience these, but a lot of people won't. And that's okay. They're not the goal. They can just sometimes be what happens to you. There's nothing to be afraid of. They're actually kind of cool. These are simply things that can happen when your soul is open and aligned. Your heart is open and aligned. And like I said, if you do experience these, there's nothing to be afraid of. They're actually quite lovely, very powerful, and they're meant for your good and for your evolution and for your healing. Sometimes they can be alarming, though, if you're not expecting them. They can be alarming. So, I mean, if it happens, just keep breathing. Ride the wave. It's all good. It's all good stuff. And like I said, don't feel bad or like something's wrong with you or with what you're doing if you don't experience these. What's meant for you won't miss you, and your soul is going to bring whatever experience is meant for you into your reality when it's time and when you're ready. If it's something that you are meant to experience and you're doing your part of consistent meditation and showing up to meditate, then it's going to happen. And even if you don't want it, you're not going to stop it. Listen, your path is your path. None of this is a checklist that you need to check off. And like I said a couple of times before, it's not a competition. Every meditation practice is different. Every person is different. Every life contract is different. These stages are general guidelines that can help you understand where you are in your progress and to assure you that everything's happening as it's supposed to and you're right on track. Also to help you understand what's happening to you, because if you don't know what's happening, you might not understand what you're experiencing. You're evolving, and wherever you find yourself at this very moment is exactly where you're supposed to be. You are always right on time. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe and share this content if you know someone who could use it. It helps my channel so much, and we want people who need this information or could benefit from it to have access to it. So like and subscribe and share if you can. I would appreciate it. And leave me a comment to let me know your thoughts on this. All right, you guys, until next time.